Hi, I'm Robert Gurr, PR and Events Manager for OneSavings Bank, and we're here in FSE up in the Midlands at the Ricoh Stadium in Coventry, and I'm joined by Darrell Walker, who's our Head of Sales for Commercial and Second Charge Lending. And Darrell's just done a seminar presentation on growth and the opportunities of success for the commercial lending market. Welcome, Darrell.
Thank you, Rob.
And how do you think it went today?
Yeah, really good. Really pleased, to be fair, Rob. I think considering this great exhibition, but primarily this is sort of dominated by your traditional mortgage broker, your resi broker. The topic, obviously, of growth and opportunities in commercial was maybe a little bit of a sort of a flyer, you could argue, from an exhibition point of view. I think the great thing for us was it was a packed room, a lot of interaction, some great questions, and it certainly got people thinking and sort of got the interest up.
So just on that, when we talk about a resi audience and all this kind of stuff, one of the questions you did get was how the recent changes, the PRA SS 1316, has affected the commercial market. We know it's affected obviously buy-to-let and portfolio lending, but how's that played out in the commercial market so far?
Yeah, I think really the headline there, Rob, is that the changes in the buy-to-let sector have affected the commercial arena, but actually in a positive way. I think one of the things that we're really seeing, certainly in recent months, the changes with regards to taxation in the buy-to-let arena, the changes last month from PRA with regards to portfolio lending and how that's approached. They're all things that have got people in that sector really sort of thinking and taking a step back and analysing the position they're in and where they want to go next. What we've found from a commercial point of view, we're to a large degree sheltered by those changes. We've got a lot of portfolio landlords, a lot of professional landlords that are looking to sort of really take advantage of opportunities that exist in the commercial space. So if anything, it's actually played to our strengths, and we've seen enquiries and activity increase.
And just on that, in terms of commercial lending, one of the slides you showed was a kind of positive trajectory for bridging short-term funding. Can you just talk a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you're probably aware, Rob, bridging is something relatively new from an OSB and an Interbank point of view. At the same time, it plays to the strengths of what OSB is about as a specialist lender. We've got the distribution, we've got the product, we've got the expertise in-house already to service and facilitate that type of product. I think the key thing there is that we've seen some real sort of strong numbers in recent years in the bridging space, and they've sort of very much been going in the right direction. That's increased at a little bit of a pace, particularly over the last 12 months. There's several factors there. I think one is that brokers are a lot more engaged and are sort of utilising that product more than they probably ever have. And I think the other thing there is that the cost of funds has dramatically come down. So what that's really done is basically made the product and certainly the price in particular more palatable, that not only the broker but obviously the end client can look to take advantage of that.
You mentioned some term in that presentation as well, which I thought was quite catchy, and I might steal that for our PR.
Okay, I think another one you're talking about.
Share that.
Yeah, so I'll hit you with the term first. So the term, and again, I'll be honest, it's something that I've nicked from somebody else, but that's a different conversation. But the term was Swiss Army knife. Obviously, doing the research around today's presentation and our audience, the people we're talking to, one of the things that we've really sort of got heads around quickly within OSB is the ability and the sort of the strengths of a bridging proposition. People think of it historically as something that helps you in an auction scenario, which, don't get me wrong, that is a big part of the bridging world, but it can also act as a developer exit product to help developers get out of a particular development, move on to the next fund. It can also be used obviously to get your hands on cash relatively quickly. And the other thing where we've seen some real good traction, certainly again within Interbank at the moment, early doors, is around the refurbishment side. So we see a lot of scenarios where both you get it market-wide, residential, commercial, where a property isn't mortgageable as such. What that bridge can enable people to do is use it as a refurb to get in, acquire the property, get the work done, and effectively exit out back onto a standard product. So hence why that term Swiss Army knife was something that we really feel is a great way to explain.
Thanks for that. And just finally, because obviously you did talk to a mainly resi audience, what are the key things that you can say to those brokers who primarily haven't dealt in commercial lending before? What's your advice to them?
There's several key things. I think one of the big things for me initially would be for people is to really don't miss the opportunity. Certainly from a self-employed point of view, there'll be many people in that room, we spoke to many since, that have got self-employed clients, got self-employed contacts, that what they need to do is perhaps maybe go to that next level of understanding of the client, their business, their aspirations, what they do, where they trade from. So it's important that, again, they look to sort of don't miss that opportunity. I think the next thing really is education. if they want to get involved in this sector, there is a wealth of opportunity out there to learn and understand different lenders, the criteria, the appetite, how we do things. Intubate is a great example. We've got a sales team across the UK that are really there to help a broker from, I suppose, cradle to grave, right the way through the journey. So, the second thing I would say is really sort of look to take that opportunity. But I think for me, certainly, it's really about sort of, thinking about if you want to make that step, working with the right people, thinking about whether you want to work with a lender direct, whether you want to use a specialist distributor. They're all things, again, we at Intubate know speaking out with, but certainly the big thing is don't miss the opportunity.
Darrell, thank you very much for spending some time with us.
Thanks for your time, Rob.